I got a fun video topic for you guys. What are realistic predictions for Ben Johnson in year one with the Chicago Bears offense and, of course, the Chicago Bears as a whole? So let's talk about this, people. What is going on? Yo, Faiz Sports All back at it with another video talking some NFL here to talk about the Chicago Bears. So if you're a Bears fan, guys, hit that subscribe button down below. Would really appreciate that. Hit the bell icon so you're notified every time I drop a new video, daily content on the channel, and you don't want to miss out. All right, let's hop right into this. So I have some numbers here I want to share with you guys, which I'll get into. But when I talk about Ben Johnson in year one with the Bears and realistic expectations, I'm talking about, hey, how far can he take this Bears offense? Because I went back and looked at the numbers with the Detroit Lions before Ben Johnson and after Ben Johnson, as in after Ben Johnson joined as the OC. So in 2021, Ben Johnson was not the OC. It was Anthony Lynn. All right, and then in 2022, Ben Johnson was the OC. So Ben Johnson was the OC from 2022 to 2024. All right, so 3 seasons. We have 3 years of data. And then before that, it was Anthony Lynn. So here is what the numbers say. Anthony Lynn, that season with the Detroit Lions, I should say, not the first one, that season 2021, the Detroit Lions were in the league 22nd overall in yards per game. So overall yards per game, 22nd overall under Anthony Lynn, 18th overall in passing yards per game, and 19th overall in rushing yards per game. So pretty pedestrian yardage totals all across the board. The record was terrible too, 3-13. That was the first year under Dan Campbell, okay? But let me just tell you this. I went back and checked the roster because obviously if you're 3-13, hey, did you still have the same players? They still had Jared Goff. They still had Amon-Ra St. Brown. They still had Penei Sewell, Taylor Decker. They did have DeAndre Swift as a running back and Jamal Williams, if you guys remember that. So they did not draft Jahmyr Gibbs yet. Obviously, no Monty in free agency and no Jameson Williams or Sam Laporta. So, yeah, they're definitely missing more better players, more valuable players for sure. But it's not like the cupboard was barren, right? They still did have some pieces there. And the offense was terrible under Anthony Lynn. Ben Johnson comes in 2022, and the offense, folks, this is crazy. The offensive numbers went through the roof. So they went from 22nd in yards per game all the way to 4th. To 4th! That's a jump of 18 spots. 8th overall in rushing yards per game, 8th overall in passing yards per game, 11th overall in rushing yards per game in 2022. Okay? So 4th, 8th, and 11th. 2023, 3rd overall in total yards per game, 2nd overall in passing yards per game, 5th overall in rushing yards per game. This past season, 2nd overall in total yards per game, 2nd overall in passing yards per game, and 6th overall in rushing yards per game. So this man went, Ben Johnson, 4th, 3rd, and 2nd, literally in his 3 seasons as the OC with the Detroit Lions when I was talking about total yardage. 4th, 3rd, and 2nd. It went from 22nd to 4th, 3rd, and 2nd. I mean, that's a massive jump. Now, I know obviously the Lions definitely improved with the roster, but my goodness, that gives me so much hope, and it obviously explains why he was the hottest commodity in this entire coaching cycle. All right, so when it comes to the Bears, what are realistic expectations for him? Because the Bears offense had worse numbers than the Lions did in 2021. The Bears offense last season finished 32nd, dead last in the entire NFL in total yardage, 31st in passing yardage per game, and 25th in rushing yards per game. So literally dead last overall and pretty much, at the very end with passing and rushing. It was a disaster. We know it. That's the reason why Shane Waldron got fired, why Matt Eberflus got fired, and we know it. So when we look at that, obviously there's no way to go but up. You can't get worse than 32nd. But I don't think it is, asking a lot if Ben Johnson can take us from, dead last to middle of the pack. Like 15th overall in terms of total yardage per game and passing and rushing. Like, I don't think that's asking for a lot for Ben Johnson. So I think he can certainly do that. And hopefully it's better than that. But, man, to me, what those Detroit numbers are showing is like Ben Johnson's a magician. He can work some magic here. So I really, really hope, we can crack the top 10, but I'm trying to be realistic here because I've been let down way too many times as a Bears fan. So just give me middle of the pack, right? Just give me that year one of Ben Johnson. So, got to be a little bit patient here. As far as record, obviously you won 5 games last year, 7 games the year before. So it's kind of tricky. I'd probably say, realistically, you make the improvements in free agency, you upgrade the offensive line, you add some pieces in the draft, you should be able to win 8 games, right? 8 and 9, hopefully compete for a playoff spot. Like that was the expectation coming into this season. Before the season was a complete disaster. You were 4-2 before the Hail Mary disaster. So I don't think it's crazy to expect like an 8-9 record, but more importantly, not just record, because record is like everything. We're just talking about the offense, and we're talking about what Ben Johnson is responsible for. I need at least league average in these numbers. At least league average in these numbers is what I need from Ben Johnson, because he worked magic in Detroit, and that's why we hired him. There's no reason he can't do the same. You got players here: Caleb Williams, Rome Odunze, DJ Moore. We'll see about Keenan Allen. Cole Kmet's there, right? You have one player on the offensive line who's solid, Darnell Wright. We'll hopefully upgrade the rest of the O-line, but you also have DeAndre Swift, who, again, he's decent. And you have a bunch of cap space, so you could sign a guy like a Trey Smith. You could get a center. You could draft one. You can get other receivers. But, there are players here, especially with Caleb, right, the quarterback, and seeing that his potential is, there is no limit to that. So, to me, that should be the expectation in year one. Hey, get us back to at least league average, and then year 2, 3, and 4 with you, we're going and taking off, and we're becoming a top 5 offense, a top 3 offense like you were in Detroit. It's up to Ryan Poles to get the players, and as long as he does that, I think Ben Johnson can take us to where we need to go. So I'm excited, man. I can't wait. That's where I'm at with my sort of realistic expectation for Ben Johnson in year one. Give me a league average offense at least per the numbers. What say you? Let me know what you guys think, man. Leave a comment down below with your thoughts as always. Thanks for watching.